So I went to those that were reciting the Quran even though I didn't know anything, and we were told to recite Surah Hadid on the first day. It is still on my mind because I know they told them, okay, we are going to recite Surah Hadid from the first ayah to the 20th ayah, and they were memorizing. So here is me seated at the back, just moving my lips for me to be in sync with those that are reciting the Quran, but I didn't know anything. I was just moving my lips and praying to God that they do not single me out and tell me to recite a single ayah. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sharifa Ahmed, and in today's story time, I would like to share a story on how I started with my Quranic journey. Growing up, unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to study in Islamic-based schools. Schools that were close to me and were financially available for me were Christian-based schools and Catholic-based schools. So those are the schools that I went to. I studied there during my primary and my secondary and left there during my senior six. While there, I was a part of the school choir. I knew how to write the full artillery for the mass because we used to have a mass every Tuesday. I used to write a full artillery on how the mass was going to go from beginning to end, which songs they were supposed to sing from beginning to end. I used to know how to write all of that. And I could also read the Bible, so if at all I was called up to the pulpit, I knew how to read everything. I was taking CRE and I was very good at it, and I later on took it up as well in HSC, and I did divinity. But in the back of my mind, I knew that I needed to take the initiative to start and learn about my deen. Even though I didn't have the resources, I knew that inshallah at a particular time T, I would get the opportunity to start on my Quranic journey. When I moved to another school, and this school was Islamic based, so they were respecting the Islamic deen, and they had Quranic lessons every Saturday in the morning, because there were different religions in the schools. Those that were Catholics would go to their section, the Christians could go to their sections, and the Muslims would also go to their section. The next morning, because I arrived on a Friday, and on a Saturday we were supposed to go to the masjid and take our Quranic lessons. So this is what they do in the masjid. If you arrive, they group you in three groups: those that know how to recite the Quran, those that don't know absolutely anything to do with Quran recitation and all that, and those that have started and are still on their sauna. So me coming from a Christian school with no knowledge at all about the Quran, I felt that I was going to be embarrassed, which was the first mistake, because if I had been true to myself and went to those that didn't know how to recite the Quran, I would have started my Quranic journey there and then. But I felt that I was going to be embarrassed because this is a school that starts from senior 1 to senior 6. Just imagine everyone is going to Quran, or either Quran or Yasauna. Nobody was going to the section that for those that didn't know anything. Because if I had gone there, I would be the only one there. So I went to those that were reciting the Quran even though I didn't know anything, and we were told to recite Surah Hadid on the first day. It is still on my mind because I know they told them, okay, we are going to recite Surah Hadid from the first ayah to the 20th ayah, and they were memorizing. So here is me seated at the back, just moving my lips for me to be in sync with those that are reciting the Quran, but I didn't know anything. I was just moving my lips and praying to God that they do not single me out and tell me to recite a single ayah. I managed to keep up this charade for the full year that I was there, and after my senior 6, I eventually joined the university, and when I was at the university, I didn't get a chance to recite the Quran. You know, university lifestyle. So, but I made it a point to pray the 5 daily prayers. And after my university, then I got a job as a secretary as well as an accountant, and my boss was very deep on his deen, and this is me being at the forefront of the office, like the first image when clients come in, and I'm not dressed that decently. It used to it used not to sit well with me, but I had no choice because I was not used to wearing long things covering myself. I was wearing high waist skimpy skirts and dresses. And my boss later on was like, Sharifa, you need to change your lifestyle. You are Muslim. And he was somehow related. You are Muslim. And this is not a good image for my company. So he called up one lady who used to sell Turkish dresses. And one evening she came with a few sample dresses, and I was told to pick like 5. These dresses were very expensive because after I picked up the 5 dresses, I saw him writing out a receipt of, and I thought to myself, I wish this man gave me this money and I would have gotten more clothes from downtown than these 5 clothes that I had picked out. But they were very authentic clothes. I managed to keep these clothes, and up to now they are still there after 10 years. They are still there. They are just moving on from generation to generation. So after he got me those 5 dresses, I started to upgrade from there and got more and more and more decent dresses. And up to now, this is my dressing code, and I'm very, very proud of it. So if you're out there and you're still struggling on changing the dressing code, you can start small, small, change a few, like you can change you can decide to start bathing even though you haven't changed like the full attire. You can start like bits by bits, and eventually you get it and you start veiling the way that you want. So after I went away from that job, I resigned unfortunately, and I came to the UAE. I came to the UAE to work as a private driver. So if you haven't watched my first time experience in the UAE as a private driver, I'll put a link up here for the video so that you get to see it. And for those of you that are planning to come to the UAE, you never know, it might catch you inside. So after I came to the UAE, I realized that it was only me and God in a different country. I had no family here, so I needed to be more closer to Allah, because I believe that if I'm more closer to Allah, then the more He will protect me the more and give me everything that I had wished for before coming to this country to start out my work career. So one day I met up a person, a girl. She was working as a security guard in one hospital, and she had also started on her Quranic journey. And she asked if she can introduce me to her sheikh, who would train me on how to read the Yasauna, and later on advance to the Quran. So when she introduced me to the sheikh, I was enrolled to start with the Yasauna classes. I started from Alif, like the Islamic alphabet. I started from Alif, and before I could know it, I could join 2 letters from 2 to 3 and up, going up. And after I got done with the Yasauna, I was promoted to Quranic class. We started off from the small surahs, Surat Al-Fatah, Surat Ahad, and then continued up. So right now, as I'm talking to you, Alhamdulillah, I have memorized a few juzus, 2 of them. I have memorized Juz Amma and Juz Tabaraka. I'm still going up fourth, and inshallah, by Allah's grace, I wish to memorize the full Quran. So if you're out there and you believe that it's too late for you to start on your Quranic journey, here's me telling you from experience that it's never too late to start. If you can still read and you can grasp a few things in your mind and not forget them like there and then, you can start memorization and you can start recitation as well. If you do not know anything, you can start, yes, from the alif, from the yasauna, yes, just like I did, and in a few months or years, you'll be reciting the Quran on your own. And you don't know the feeling that you get when you're reciting the holy book of Allah on your own with no assistance, reciting it with the correct tajweed and all that. It really feels amazing. So if you're out there and you believe it's too late for you to start on this journey, is me telling you that it's never too late to start. You can start anytime that you feel comfortable. Thank you so much for sticking around throughout this particular video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment. And if you wish to start your Quranic lessons, I have a sheikh that is currently looking for people to start off with their Quranic journey. You're going to be starting from your sauna and then you'll be going upgrading. So if you're there and you feel interested, just leave me a message in the comment section and I'll link you up to the sheikh that can teach you on how to recite the Holy Quran. Thank you so much for watching and may Allah bless you.